Hi, good afternoon. My name is Barbara Butler, and I'm the host of Conversations with Barbara. And tonight I'm having a conversation with Tonya Joyner. So, Tonya, can you tell us who is Tonya?
Wow. First of all, thank you so very much for having me as a guest on your broadcast today. I'm so excited to be here. Thank you, Barbara, so much for having me as a guest. I'm usually a host, but
Uh-huh.
today I get to be a guest. So I'm so excited about that. Who is she? She is me. And I am more than enough. I am uberly excited about who she is. She's caring,
Mm-hmm.
she's loving, she's courageous, she's inspiring, she's encouraging, she's empowering. She is me. Yes, and that is that's enough. That's a lot within that whole conversation that she is me. And so thank you so much for having me on today. I appreciate
So, Tonya, I want you to tell me, I've been following your journey a little
it.
bit. So, I want you to tell me a little bit about your journey, like how you started in ministry.
Woo. You always know that you're supposed to be in ministry, but you run from it. So, because it's not something that you really want to do, because with ministry comes a lot of habit. That means you got to, because I always tell people the way is narrow.
Mm-hmm.
So that means I have to follow, the way if I
Mm-hmm.
want to make it. So, my journey to ministry has been interesting. I started out at my grandmother's, my home church as a kid. Always ushered, always wanted to sing. They won't let me sing in the choir. Always wanted to sing. Always wanted to be in a part and be service. I've always wanted to serve. Whatever I was doing, I wanted to serve. I wanted to serve in church. I didn't need to have the mic. I just wanted to serve, be of service. And then I had an uncle that lived in South Carolina, and his name is Uncle June, but he's gone. He's passed away.
Mm-hmm.
And he told my grandmother one day, he said, Annie Mae, that is a pastor there. And I was like, whatever. You got a pastor on your hands, and he called me a prophet because I am a dreamer, and I didn't know all those things, and we didn't know how to put language to the things that he had said that I was.
Mm-hmm.
So I never really, paid any attention to it. I just continued on. And then years on down the line, I ran. Because when you have a calling on your life, you
Mm-hmm.
know it. But you know how that go.
Mm-hmm.
And so most often we're looking for someone to qualify us or to say that or call us out per se.
Uh-huh.
And so I waited on that, because I thought that's what we were supposed to do. But I later found out that if God has called you, then He's called you.
Mm-hmm.
That means you've been chosen to do the work of the Lord. So I decided I'm not going to run no more. I'm going to do what thus saith the Lord, and I've been running ever since. I haven't looked back. I thank God for my life. I thank God for what He's done for me. I have not looked back at anything that I have done. That's why, and I'm excited about what God is doing in my life. And ever since I gave God um ever since I had given him a fresh yes, he has just been showing up. He has just been showing up in my life. He's just been doing he just been awesome. And so I'm grateful that I gave him a yes. And I
Mm-hmm.
said, if this is what you called me to do, then I need to go ahead on and obey what it is that you've called me to do. And I've been doing it ever since. So I'm not upset about it. I'm just, I'm just running right on along.
Sometimes do you think that people have a calling on their life and they don't do anything or move to what they're actually called to be?
I think that people don't move because they are always looking for validation.
Mm-hmm.
You're looking for someone to validate you, but again, if God has called you to it and you know that you have been called to it, yes, you're supposed to, be under the leadership of your pastor. I think you need to do some soul searching,
Mm-hmm.
and we're not just doing imaginary calling because we got enough of them out there. We don't get me started. I'm gonna behave. I'm gonna behave, Pastor Darcy. I see you. Um, you don't want to just be out here just doing whatever. You want to be under the leadership, and you want to be functioning under the unction of the Holy Spirit, and make sure that you've been led, and make sure that you spent time to commune with Christ and whatever it is that you can do. So a lot of times people don't feel like they are called because um, you also have to have my thing is you have to have somebody who sees that in you, and don't mind cultivating what they see, and not do it, not cultivate you because you don't want to be jealous because you know you got that out going on. Let's just be honest. You invited me, so I hope you're ready for me to keep. You said this conversation with Barbara, so I hope you're ready. You don't want to have people out here just doing anything. You know, make sure you're anointed and you know you have the oil of your life. But you got people who won't cultivate you, afraid of who you will be. You understand what I'm saying? Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So they'll keep you low. And that's, you know, that's never good. So I think that's why people don't really.
I think sometimes people have a calling on their life, but they don't think that they're good enough.
Yes, because if you're in a place where you are not cultivating, that's my word. Because if you're not if nobody's cultivating what's in you, you always feel, you know,
right.
And then it's up to you. Seek God in prayer. Go to Him. I often hear one of my co-hosts. When I first began to when God had given me the vision of the virtuous influence, she told me, she said, I understand that you have a vision, but what did God say? So even in this, what did God say? You know, you don't, sometimes you have to go to God in prayer. You got to be honest with yourself and say, hey, look, I know that you called me to do this. Give me the strategies and the ways and means so that I can do what it is that you call me to do, and do it correctly. You don't want to just be doing anything, you know, you know how they do. So I think if you feel like you not good enough, do some searching in you, because He made you fearfully and wonderfully made. So you can't be not good enough because you're fearfully and wonderfully made.
Right.
That's the word. You clothed in strength as a woman, and you're fearfully and wonderfully made. So you don't even worry about that.
So your podcast that you have, tell me a little bit about that. What is that all about?
So the virtuous influence, I get excited about the virtuous influence because I remember when God gave it to me, and it started out as a on the radio, and I wanted to go beyond the radio. I wanted you to not be able to just pick up your phone and dial a number, but I wanted you to be able to see us interacting with one another, because that's the world we're living in today. We're living in a visual world. And so I started out on the radio last year. I took a little break because I got afraid. Honestly, I was like, oh my God, this is blowing up more than what I really thought it would be. I just, just was trying to be low key, and it just took off. And so the virtuous influence is women supporting women in ministry. We believe that we are women who are confident, who will inspire you and encourage you and empower you to be your best you on your journey with Christ. So we believe that supporting women. See, sometimes women, back in the day, they were made to only do a few things in church. And if you weren't cooking or ushering or saying the announcements, you weren't allowed in the pulpit. And so sometimes we have people that have voices. They have a voice and they want to speak and they want to, they have a word in their belly, but because of maybe where they go, they're not allowed to say anything. So I like to allow my platform for the women to come and encourage other women, whether it be in word, whether even be in prayer. Just come on and encourage. So I open up the platform, sort of like what you're doing.
Right.
And we have a group of women who are my co-hosts. One of them is on here tonight. And we encourage women just on your journey as a woman. We enlighten, we uplift, We encourage women all. It's because you may not be confident in who you are.
That's true.
You may not like putting on lipstick because somebody told you if you put on red, you look like a French, you know what.
Right.
So, and then you may look good in colorful lipstick. You may look nice in a nice dress or in a nice pantsuit, but because of the things that was bestowed upon us from way back when, because everything that Granny and them told us wasn't all right.
Right.
They just went along with what they were taught and
Mm-hmm.
told. So, what I try to do is just encourage women, and I even had to step out of, that's a whole nother conversation. But I even had to step out of religions. I had to step out of that because that's what we were taught, that's what we was raised in. But that's not what the Bible says.
Right.
Okay, so once I learned what the Bible said, then I said, oh, that's why you got to study.
Right. Study the word.
That's right. You got to study the word. So I truly believe that women, we carry such a great power and authority, especially in ministry. Sometimes we carry the church, and oftentimes we are overlooked. Some of us are overlooked. If you're too powerful, you definitely overlook because they don't want you talking. I'm just saying. Don't get me in trouble on here.
I want you to speak your truth.
I'm just being honest. Sometimes if you're too overbearing, then we're gonna keep them. We're gonna make you a part, but we're not gonna let you talk too much because you just might.
But
be
I don't
too
agree
much.
that that's all. I mean, I think that happens to men too. Sometimes if they are overbearing, they are maybe put in a pushed to the side a little bit more than given a platform that they probably
men
just,
do.
yeah.
Men, you believe that for the men? Yeah. A lot of times they are, and it's a lot of has to do. I personally believe with just people, just not wanting to allow. Because if I like you more, if they like you more, then they gonna ride with you all the time. They ain't gonna ride with me. You see what I'm saying? So I think that has a lot. It's so many different things that can come with that reasoning, but you'll never know until somebody tell you. So that's what I say.
But I don't think that people will tell you. You know what I'm saying?
No, they won't. They won't tell you because then it makes them look bad. Oh, I didn't know you were that way. So, people are not going to be honest,
Right.
So then that's when you have to search for yourself. You got to have a relationship with God for yourself. And when you have a relationship with God for yourself, then you'll know who He has called you to be. You just have to be able to step out there on your own on courage and what He has told you. If He told it to you, then you got to be able to step out there on faith and do what thus saith the Lord. Because I ain't going to argue with what He told you.
Right.
Because I wasn't there when He told
If
Barbara.
you told me that God told you, then I say, I wish you well.
Hey, if they said that God said you're going to have conversations with Barbara, when that's on Barbara and conversations with God. So I ain't got nothing to do with that. I'm just going to support. I ain't going to just push you. I'm going to support you. And then when you make your error, I'm still going to be there to support you. That's what we have to learn how to sometimes, I think.
So, why do you feel that a lot of women don't support other women in different ventures that they pursue?
Okay. So now you really want to get.
Yes.
Oh my God, I could write a book. Let me see where I'm going to start writing here. I think that women do not support women, honestly, because for so long it's been catty. Trust. I often talk about tables. You could be at the table with someone and you think that you've been friends with them for a long time, only to find out that you've been the main course the whole time. And so then you retract and you don't want to deal with women because you've been stabbed, you've been hurt. Therefore, I'm not going to support Barbara, even though she's doing the same thing I'm doing. I'm not going to support her because I know I supported somebody else and they took all my ideas. You see what I'm saying? I think that has a lot to do with women not supporting women. Sometimes it's just the experiences that they've had. Some people have had some bad experience, but you have to not allow the experiences to make you.
Right.
So, and I can just speak for my own self and my own situation that I've had with women. I had a terrible experience with some women that I love dearly, and I could publicly say it on this platform because I do. I had some women friends that I love to my heart to this day, still love them. If I was to ever walk up on them, I would show them nothing but love because I've matured in a place. I don't hate them. I don't dislike them. I still love them. That comes with maturity. That comes with time because there were wounds, but they needed to be healed. And so I still love them, but they may not feel the same way. And you got to be okay with accepting whether they don't feel the same way. I said, well, women, we're so some of us are so easily offended,
right?
So easily hurt. But then after a while, we become immune to being hurt. And so we accept when we've been hurt because it just keeps happening. Is that a good way to be? No. But it happens because we don't take time to heal. We just keep getting into new friendships. We just keep getting on new ships with different faces, different anchors, instead of allowing God to give you divine connections. You got to have divine connections. I remember this weekend, I was at a conference, and this woman was on one side and I was on the other side, and we instantly disconnect. So when the service was over, the woman came to me and she said, "Woman of God, I don't know who you are, but I don't know. God is getting ready to do a divine connection between you and me." I said, "Oh, he is? What kind of connection?" Because I'm still like, okay, what kind of connection you talking about? So she was like, God does things in divine order. But when I hugged you, there was something on you, and we just, the Holy Spirit just took over.
So I had this question on one of my other podcasts. So by you saying that, so do you easily let anybody into your circle like right away?
No.
Okay.
No. I used to. I used to let people in, call them friend. Hey, and this is just me being honest. But I've learned that everyone cannot have access to you. They just can't. Especially not even knowing what you possess on your life. Hello, Elder Fletcher. They everybody can't have access. They have to. You have to allow people to. You have to be very careful about who you allow in your space when you're walking closely with God, because I just can't have everybody in my space.
Right.
And if you truly have the Holy Spirit, what happens is you have this little thing called discernment. And your discernment will kick in, and then you'll say, you have to pay attention to the signs. See, in the world, they got red flags. In ministry, we got signs.
Right.
So what I say is, and I see the comment here. She says, neither do I. We must be careful. I just told the women of God the other day, I said, you have to be selective and sober.
Right.
You have to be sober-minded and selective when you are meeting people. Everybody can't come into my house and put your feet up underneath my table and we say we're friends. I used to be that way until I was stabbed in the back. So no, I don't think you need to have a some relationships need to go through a, what's it called,
like on your job, probationary period. They
need to go through a probationary period. They need to go through a pruning stage. They need to, yeah. Because
do you realize that when you are when you're guarded like that, sometimes that people may think that, oh, she thinks she's all that, or she's standoffish, or people perceive you in a different light when you're not open to new friendships right away?
They may do, but you don't know my story.
Right.
So you don't know what I've been through to get me to that place. Me personally, I still think I may be over friendly. I mean, I got some people on here that that will tell you sometimes I just may be just a little too much, you know.
Right.
But I have learned over the years to step back and evaluate people who say they're friend.
Right.
I don't just easily call you friend anymore. I used to do it. I used to be like, Barbara, we friends, girl. We done went out and ate and we done had a good time. We the best of friends. Not even realizing that I was the whole meal at the table.
Mm-hmm.
See, I would go and hang out and we would tell, and I would tell all my business, and I look up, they ain't said nothing about them.
So they were gathering information.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Only to take back later. And so then
Mm-hmm.
I realized, Tonya, you got to be slow to speak and quick to listen.
Mm-hmm.
Make sure that you're listening to what is being said. Make sure you real vigilant in your conversation. Make sure you think before you speak.
Right.
And that comes with maturity. That comes with, oh, I've been hurt. That comes with when you get stabbed too many times by the same knife, guess what you're gonna do? Oh, you're gonna start evaluating because them wounds hurt over time.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. And that's what I had to do. I had to learn to evaluate my conversations and evaluate who I would call friend, because I love people. I love them so hard that immediately I'm just, you my friend.
Right.
Now, what another thing I had to do too was I had to evaluate Tonya, because it ain't always the other person.
Right.
And that's one thing. Oh my God, that's one thing that we have to be honest with. Is sometimes it just may be Barbara.
Mm-hmm.
It just may be Tonya. It just may be me. So then what I had to do was I had to look at me in the mirror and evaluate what's wrong with me. Mm-hmm. Why do I feel like I need to have these relationships all the time? Why do I always have to feel like I need a friend? What did I miss?
Right.
Those are hard conversations that we don't have with ourselves.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. As women, because sometimes we're so quick to blame the other person, not even realizing that you probably was the problem all along.
Right. That is something in you.
That is something in you.
Mm-hmm.
Why can't you be friendly? Because the Bible says you have to show thyself friendly before you can even have friends. Mm-hmm. Why are you always so guarded? And why are you always something going on with somebody else? And then don't be so deep and spooky all the time. I'm sorry. You started it. Stop being so, listen to me, y'all. Y'all hear me out here? Don't be so deep and spooky all the time. It's okay to have friends and relationships with folk. It's all right. You ain't gotta be. I'm looking at him and see what's gonna jump out the hat. And I'm looking, because a lot of times we look for the other shoe to drop.
Right. A lot of times.
I did it. Mm-hmm. And guess what? I believe that relationships are what you make of them. Mm-hmm. What are you trying to? What is your? Oh, this is good. What is your motive?
Right. Yep, I say that all the time.
Mm-hmm. When you meet people, what is your motive? Mm-hmm. Because even in this platform, what is your motive? Because some people, be careful, people who call you and say, "Can I get on your?" Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. You ain't invited me on your yet. Be careful. Right. Mm-hmm. Because this is still sacred. Right. Anything you're doing with motivation and inspiring is still sacred. You want to make sure what you're putting out in your content won't harm the people that's listening. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So you got to be very mindful and be very careful about who and how you develop your this is what I say, develop with friends. Right. I'm very cautious, but yet at the same time, I also recognize that I may have something that Barbara may be looking for, and I may be the one to have to give it to her. So I can't be but so guarded. Mm-hmm.
That's true.
I may be the love that she needs, that she missed from a woman. She misses that from a sister, or she misses that from, you know what I'm saying? So I don't want to be so guarded and so with my nose up that I'm no earthly good. Mm-hmm.
But I think sometimes that you'll know if someone needs you in that form of fashion, or if they got, you
Mm,
don't think so?
mm-mm. Because if I've been hurt by mama, so if I'm the black sheep of the family,
Mm-hmm.
I'm not gonna come right out to you and say I'm the black sheep. As a matter of fact, I'm gonna be a little hard. I'm gonna clash with you a lot. It's up to me to find out, right?
Mm-hmm.
If I choose to,
Right.
if I even want to spend that amount of time on you. Because listen, I got a husband, children, I gotta
Right.
be. But if God has placed you as I hate using the word assignment, but if God has placed you in my life in that
Mm-hmm.
way, I'm not a counselor.
Right.
uh, Minister Joyner is not a counselor, but I don't mind sitting with you and tarrying with you till we figure this thing out.
Mm-hmm.
If that's what he called me to do with you, we gotta be careful because sometimes we pick up assignments that we ain't even supposed to be carrying.
Mm-hmm.
He didn't tell you to go help and nurse them. I was telling you earlier before we got on here. I believe sometimes that I'm just a midwife. I'm here to push you to your next place. You got to prepare. I got to push you to your next space.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes that just may be who I am to you at that moment. So even if you are missing the sisterly love,
Mm-hmm.
it's my duty to be sisterly to you. If you come to me and tell me that,
Right.
I get tired of trying to figure folk out. You want to just say what you need, and I may be able to help you.
I don't understand why people play the games,
Mm-hmm.
because that's what it is.
Mm-hmm.
They're playing games instead of, right, I need this.
Mm-hmm.
I need someone to show me the way with this. You know what I'm saying? Instead of going about around the.
Again, it just may be that I did come to somebody and tell them, and I showed them. And what did they do to me? Did they help me? Or did they drag me down? Because you know what I learned in relationships, right? When I was dating, I love my husband. I love you, baby. But when I was dating, I learned an older woman said, baby, don't tell a man every relationship that you've been through before you got to him. Don't discuss the last previous relationship. I said, well, why? I got to tell him what happened to me, so
He don't do it.
He don't do it.
Right.
But in essence, if you tell them what you've been through, they're gonna in their head think, oh, you like that, or you used to that. So let me do that to you some more.
Okay.
So sometimes we gotta don't tell everything. Don't let your left hand know what your right hand doing. That's what Granny would say.
That's what my mama said.
Don't put all your eggs in one basket. Yeah, that's what they would say. They say little stuff like that. You'd be like, huh? But and some of it they were right. You gotta be vigilant. You gotta be what did Elder Fletcher say? She said you gotta be prayerful and watchful. Yeah, because you can't just allow everything and everybody in. So I think you just gotta be, you gotta be careful. That's my thoughts. Somebody said, all right, Granny. That's my aunt. Yes. Thank you, Aunt. Listen, I hold what Granny said to me to heart because some things she was right about. Yeah. Some stuff I was like, all right, Granny, that's a little too much.
I just think people need to be careful because church hurt is real.
No. Did the church hurt you or did the people in the church hurt you?
Well, it's most of the time it's the people in the church. All right. But people associate people with the church
and they need to stop.
Yeah.
Because the church could never hurt you because that's God's bride. The church itself did not hurt you. Now the religions and the bureaucracy or the democratics of the church or the charismatics of the church, that's what hurt you. The people that were running it. So I get a little, my spirit just gets a little excited when I hear people say the church hurt me. No, the church didn't hurt you because the church would never hurt you because on this rock I build my church. And so if God is the bride, that's his bride. The bride ain't hurt you. It was the people that were in it. So you got to be careful. And then let's say who hurt you.
Right.
Stop saying coupling the whole church and using that as an excuse as to why you don't go and you don't attend a local assembly because there's many. where you can find what it is that you need. You know, what did somebody Jamel say? The people that
the church
exactly, baby. It was the people who hurt you.
Mm-hmm.
It was them who did it, not the building itself. It was the people that was in it.
Yeah.
And identify with who hurt you.
Yeah, people just lump it all with the church and stop going to church.
And stop going to church because that's an excuse. See, one thing about the blacks, we love a good excuse as to not be accountable. So if everybody hurt me at the church, then I ain't got to be accountable. Nobody. I can sit at home and keep watching on YouTube and jump from this place to that place to this place, eating at all these tables. And then when I ask you, what did you have? You got slop. Because you didn't mix everything together.
But I noticed that people would say that, but you get hurt on your job and you still go there every
day. Go every Monday
you don't leave there
through Friday. Boss treat you like trash. The co-workers don't like you. They done ate your lunch. They done threw your lunch in the trash. You know how they do. They see you walking through the door and they don't let the door open on you. You know how they do. Yeah, but you keep going.
Yeah, you keep going.
Why? Because you're reaping a what? A paycheck. You're like, oh, that's what's gonna pay my bills. You know, oh, that's what's gonna keep food on my table.
Going to church will save your soul.
But going to church
will save
your soul because there's a place that I have to go to beyond here. There's a mansion with my name on it.
Yeah,
that he has promised me. So if you promise me something, he got to what? Keep his promise. And I tell you, I'm holding on to the horns of the altar because he owed me something and I'm going to get it. I'm going to get what it is that he said is due unto me. So, but in order for me to get it, I got to what? I got to walk right. I got to be right. It's some prerequisites that we got to do to get where we're going.
Right.
See, some of us just think going to church and sitting in our pew is what all that's required. No. That ain't the requirement. That's partial the requirement. Okay. I didn't come in here. I didn't come. I'm not trying to preach on your platform. I'm just saying, because I want you to talk about me later. Talk about that Joyner came through here. And I'm not trying to do that. I got my own spot to do it in, to get on it. Woo! My goodness, she got so excited. She cut us off.
I said, the devil is a liar.
Somebody said the devil is a liar, and he is, because he'll try to raise up his sneaky head so that we can't get what God is doing, what he wants us to do. Conditions, absolutely. Pastor Darcy said there's conditions. There's levels to this. Look at that. They tried to get us off of here. What's Pastor Partlow? Oh my God, God bless you. She said, when you eat at everybody's table, it calls you your stomach and it's what you are eating at the table all consumes is not for you.
That's good.
That is real good. Everything that you see at they have the buffet. I get a little bit of this. This is what we do on Sunday morning. Oh, I'm gonna go over here and pick up some chicken. I'm gonna get this. I'm gonna get this. I'm gonna get this. I'm gonna go over here to this ministry. I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna do this. And then you got a whole plate full of mess. And you consume it thinking that you done had a good meal. But on Wednesday, when the boss say, can I just talk about what happened to me today? Wait a minute. I just had a whole moment just saying.
Okay.
Today, I got a phone call. I was getting dressed to go to work, and the supervisor called me. That's never good because you shouldn't be calling me before I
on your way to work.
On my way in. I'm still in my pajamas. And she said, can you stop past my office before you go in? I said, uh-oh, I must be getting ready to get fired. That's what I said. I know it's some women on here that know that's what I went through this morning. And I said, well, Lord, I potted around a little bit. I didn't get sad and I didn't get mad because I know that I have history with Christ.
Mm-hmm.
So if he this is January 1. He is giving me strategy. He'll never put you in a place and don't give you a strategy to move forward.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. That was for free, y'all. Y'all don't got to put nothing in the pot. Now, here we are, January, I get the call, and I say, oh, Lord, everything's happening. My husband's being attacked in his body. I'm being attacked in my body. Now the job, here they come.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So she said, well, be at my office by 8. Right? I got there. Right? And I'm sitting there like, well, what is this about? So I get there in the meeting. She said, well, Joyner, we have an opportunity that we want to present to you. Me? You want to present an opportunity
Right. Okay.
to me? She said, yeah. I know you go all the way to Capitol Heights, and you've been doing that for some time. I know you live out this way, and we want to give you the opportunity to work over here at this office that's 7 minutes away. I said, oh, okay. Well, how many days is it? Monday through Friday? Because now I'm real nervous. I'm like, because this is a scam. She said, no, it's Monday, Tuesday, and Thursday. But on Wednesday and Friday, I want you to go and work at PSC. For those who know, I'm a phlebotomist. And I said, oh, okay. I said, I'm steady. I'm still waiting because I know how these people do. My point is that God will never leave you naked. You got to, he will never leave you out in the wilderness. You got to make sure that you pay attention to all signs. Make sure that what you consume on Sunday is what can carry you through the rest of the week.
Mm-hmm.
Because what I got on Sunday, what I got on Saturday showed right up on Monday. Good God, y'all don't hear me.
That's good.
Y'all ain't listening. Mm-hmm. What I received on Saturday took me right into Monday morning. Mm. Now, what if I wasn't in place on Saturday? And what if I wasn't in place on Sunday? Mm-hmm. I would have missed it. Mm-hmm. I would have missed it. I would have, I had every reason to be upset. I had every reason to cry. I had every reason to be, and I tell you, I was ready to cry. But thanks for you have to have a relationship for yourself that when you go to the Father, he'll hear you.
Yeah.
I didn't even burden him with that. I said, well, God, whatever it is you're getting ready to do, move it on out the way so I can get going with what it is that you called me to do. Hello.
That's good.
Yeah. So you got to be, don't you mess with it. we trying to stay on the line.
I saw that devil. I got excited.
Look, can I just say this? Listen, this Barbara first time doing it this way. And I'm grateful for her because, everybody, you can't come to people's stuff and tell people what to do. But she was able to listen to me and say, well, let me take your suggestion. So she tried something new tonight and it clicked us off, but that's all right because we still here. We still here. What was meant for our bad ended up being something good for us, right?
Yeah.
So we bless God for that. Go ahead on back.
So I want to touch a little bit on you having children, mm-hmm. your journey to having kids. Mm-hmm. So can you share with us a little bit of like?
Well, look, they said that I couldn't have any children, and I went with it for a little bit. Okay, said I can't have no kids. All right, so we tucked that in the box, and for so long couldn't have any children. I had one baby, and I lost him. His name was Braylon. Mm-hmm. I had him at 24 weeks. And some of us who are mothers who carry, your cervix opens up and sometimes it's called preterm delivery, not a miscarriage, because when he was born, he was breathing. I can hear, even when we talk about, I can hear the breath now, the struggling of him trying to breathe. But the reason why he couldn't live is because at 24 weeks, there isn't a oxygen small enough for their nasal their nasals, mm-hmm. nostrils. So that is why he couldn't live. And if he did, it would be a lot of if they had one, he would have a lot of issues, mm-hmm. But that was just a denotation to let me know. I know what the doctor said, but this is what I said. And so I had to get over that for a little while. I had to, okay, I lost a baby. It was very hard. It was a heartbreaking situation. It I thought it was going to cripple me. I thought it was going to cause me to be very depressed. I went into a deep state of depression. I was I was hurt, God, you show, but then I had to learn the lesson. The lesson was, again, the denotation was I am that I am that I am. And so God had to show me that I make the decisions on what's what. And he did. And then it was, I needed to mature you. Right. And it brought me closer to him, because right then I saw the manifestation of Christ. I literally had to push him out. I gave life to a baby that I would not take home. That's enough on your mental state right there. I know that I know that they gave, I went through the whole process. I went through the epidural. I went through the birthing pains. I had the contractions. I had the whole nine going, and I had to sit in that room. Good God Almighty, I feel God in this. I had to sit in that room in the bed and wait for the contractions to begin. I had to wait to deliver him. I knew that I wouldn't take him home. I had to wait, and I waited, and I waited, and then the hour came. It was 5:15 or so, and I delivered him. No, it was 5. I'm sorry. It was 5. It was, he didn't live long, so he lived about 6 minutes. And in them 6 minutes of his life, I heard him breathing. The doctor who delivered him, she gave him, she christened him, gave him back to Christ, and he went on. Just like that. I had 6 minutes with a baby that I would not take home. You hear me? I had 6 minutes with a baby that was formed, shaped, head, had all his features, but I wouldn't take him home. All right, so we had to have a funeral, burial, cremation. We had a cremation, and I never wanted to. I never thought I would. I don't care what stage. I never thought I would have to bury, or do that. That was not something that I thought I was going to have to ever do. That was not even a thought. So me and my husband, we chilled. We kind of like, it was like, whoa, okay. Right. And then we got pregnant again. And then that baby didn't have a heartbeat. And then that baby I had to push out. I said, God, what are you trying to show me? Okay. Trying to show you that I am that I am. And then finally, I got pregnant again. I wasn't excited. I wasn't anything. I was like, okay, God, whatever it is, it will be, and then we surpassed all of the hard stages. I said, oh, this is real. So Brielle is her name, and I know many of you have seen her. If you haven't, that's my baby. She is truly God sent, and I thank God for her all by herself. She's a little woman. She's 3. She'll be 4 in April, and she was born on April the 8th, 2020, in the COVID. And I had her at 34 weeks, so I had her early, so she was a preemie. And then right after I gave birth, because the saying is, when one come, the other one go. Da da. I said, oh Lord, please don't take my grandmother. Whatever you do, don't take my granny. And he didn't take her right away, but she lived about 3 weeks, and she didn't get to see Bree physically. She saw her in a picture, and that broke me down. Broke me down. But here we are. We still pushing, and we still making it. So that's my journey to motherhood. So I encourage every woman who wants to bear a child and been told no, um, don't listen to them.
God is
Listen to
able.
God.
God is able.
Yes, He is. So that's my journey to mother. Now I'm just moving right, right along with Bree, and she's a mess. I love her. Oh my goodness, she's a mess.
No, I was just reading a
Oh, you was
comment.
reading the comment?
So now you're Minister Tonya.
Yes, now I'm Minister Tonya.
So, Minister Tonya,
Mm-hmm.
what is it that you are excited about with this new journey that you're on right now?
Ooh, say it one more time. What am I excited about on
Yeah.
this new journey?
Yeah.
I'm excited about my relationship
Mm-hmm.
with Christ. I'm excited about how I've grown. I've seen myself grow beyond.
I've seen you grow, watching you.
Oh, well, thank you.
I've seen you grow.
And that's nothing but God. But I'm excited about how He has moved me, even how He's just matured me. I'm excited about where I attend my service. I love my apostle. I thank God for him. I thank God for my apostle Thomas W. Ridgely, the Citadel Cathedral of Prayer. I love him. You don't meet genuine people often, but what I'm excited about even in my journey is that he allowed me to cross paths with him way before he became my pastor.
Mm-hmm.
And he saw potential in me, and he don't let up off of me.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you got some people who will say, well, just do, cool. I don't care. Just what he uses the word to allow you to be corrected. And he taught me how to forgive.
Mm-hmm.
I knew how to forgive, but you got to know how to forgive for real. Because we say I forgive and then it comes back up. No, he is taught. He teaches it. He doesn't just speak it. He lives it.
Right. You got to forgive and let it go.
Yeah. So
Mm-hmm.
I'm grateful for my journey and my apostle and everything like that. My church family. I'm grateful for even the experiences because me and you were church members,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm grateful for every aspect of my life. I wouldn't take nothing back.
Mm-hmm.
I wouldn't take anything back, and how I even got to this place. I wouldn't take none of it back. I really truly enjoy my journey. It hurt, but in each place I learned something.
Mm-hmm.
I learned something. I gained something. You know what I'm saying? So I wouldn't take nothing back. I love my journey right now. I think it's beautiful. I think even in the hard spaces that it's still flourishing. And guess what? It's still developing.
Yes, it is.
Mm-hmm. It's like a camera. It's pictures. It's still developing.
So, if it's something that you can share and enlighten everybody that's watching, what is it that you would want to share?
I would tell every woman and every man who's watching tonight to take time before you go to bed tonight and look in the mirror and ask yourself, who are you? What are the things that make you?
Mm-hmm.
And how can you better you? I would say to be encouraged and don't let anybody take you off your square. I would tell you to trust God, because in this hour and in this season, you have to trust God in every step, in every move you make. Trust Him, seek His face and not His hand. And get saved for real, y'all. Get saved for real.
For real.
For real, for real. Get saved and live out the things of God. Because it's not his idea for you to be broke.
Mm-hmm.
It's not his idea for you to be living in poverty. You're a kingdom kid. And so kingdom kids get kingdom things. So I would encourage you to be good to yourself and trust God. That's what I would say.
That's good.
Yeah, that's good.
Okay. So I just want to thank everybody for joining us tonight. And Tonya, I really want to thank you
Thank
for
you.
coming on my platform.
Yes.
I want to thank you for encouraging me to try something different out of
Yes.
my comfort zone.
Mhm.
And I wish you the best of luck.
Oh, thank you. Yes, and what's that? Is that a wrap?
That's a wrap.
That's a wrap, guys.
Good
Thanks
night,
for joining
everybody.
us. Bye.